Hey everybody, welcome to TradeScope. My name is Luis Garcia. I'm a part-time trader, and this is my weekly recap series where I discuss the trades that I took last week and the things on my watch list for the following week. Before I get started, I have to let you know that this does not constitute financial advice, and this video is for educational purposes only. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into it because it's going to be a short video this week. This week did not go exactly as planned, but that's okay. Sometimes these things happen. I think I'm still positioned pretty well, so let's jump into the two trades that I took this week. They're really positions because I haven't gotten out of them yet. I did hold these over the weekend. I think there was good rationale to hold them over the weekend, although I typically don't like to do that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it works out. But yeah, let's get into it. You guys can tell me what you think about my risk management methods. Okay, so the first one is NVDA. As you guys know, this has been on my watch list for a while. Something that happened this week that was pretty interesting with NVIDIA is that it hit a new all-time high. So let's mark that out right on the chart real quick. Let's do a continuous line. Let's make it bright blue. And you can see right here at this level, right about there, it's just starting to hit an all-time high. So back in June of this year, it hit a high of 140.76, and this week it just broke that. So the 17th, was that this week? Let's see. That was actually last week it broke it, and then it pulled back, and then this week it ripped back right through that level all the way up to 143.71, 144.42 on the 22nd. The 22nd, if we check the calendar, was Tuesday, and that was the day I bought a long call option, strike price 148 and an expiration date of 11/15. So if you see a little bit out here, we have earnings scheduled for the 20th. Okay. Oops. So the 20th is coming. Earnings is coming. This is about to, I think, break out even further, right? You have the MACD looking strong. You have the RSI holding in there. Volume's pretty steady. You know, you'd expect with a big breakout that you get a lot of volume, right? And we haven't gotten that yet. We haven't really gotten that huge amount of volume. Let's see if I can get an ellipse tool out to show you what I'm talking about. So see on this breakout here, we got that nice big pump of volume. We don't have that here yet, right? It's still creeping up there. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is this is going to continue higher into earnings, right? Analysts are expecting great things for this, right? What happens after earnings? You know, it could be a sell the news event. It could rip even higher. Who knows? But at that point, my option would have already been expired anyways, because my option expires on the 15th, which I believe is just a few days before the 20th. So I'm kind of betting on a run into earnings, right? And it's breaking all-time highs. I think it's going to surpass Apple's market cap, which is like $3.5 trillion. Crazy. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's what I think. That's what I think this thing is headed for. It might pull back. My stop loss. Let's just check the chart real quick for a good stop loss, right? The thing is with this is that I plan to have a pretty, because it's an option and because of how I'm playing this, I'm trying to keep a larger risk tolerance on this, right? I can afford it, you know, given how well I've been doing in the market, but I still do want to keep a tight stop. So, you know, let's take a look at the bottom of this candle is 137. So this could be a potential stop. Let's go back to our doodle tool right here. So that could be a potential stop right there. This could be a potential stop. Back. Let's try that again. Let's use the continuous tool. So that could be a potential stop right there. This could be a potential stop, right? What I really want to see is that it keeps with this 10-day moving average, right? 10-day moving average and the 5-day have kind of started to open up. That's what I like to see. The VWAP is tracking with it on the daily. The 50's all the way down here. So I want to kind of keep this trend as well. See how this kind of nice trend line. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. As you can see on Friday, it pulled back a little bit, but sellers couldn't knock it all the way down, you know, and it did almost make a brand new high that day. So that coupled with the options open interest, the volume in the options, especially out into the 150s, I think investors are expecting a big move with this one, and so that's my call option. I currently have, I think I bought 4 here on this day, and then as it pulled back the next couple of days, which I was kind of expecting that it could potentially happen, the option lost a little bit of value, about 25%, and I added a couple more calls. If it kind of starts to struggle here, I might manage my risk with some puts. So I might hedge myself with a couple puts in the opposite direction. Again, I'll probably keep it kind of out of the money in case there's a big whip in one direction or the other. And it'll probably be a ratio. I probably won't, you know, right now I think I have 7 calls. I don't think I'll do 7 puts. I might do like 3 puts, something like that. I might do like a 2-to-1 type deal. Anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. One thing I also wanted to show you guys is my handy dandy options calculator. I'm starting to really like this one. There's tons of them out there, but I've just kind of gotten used to using the one on barchart.com. So I just come in here, I put in my call price. First you look up your symbol, and then you put in your whether it's a call or an option, expiration date, strike price, and then it gives you all this great data. So here's the current underlying price. Here's the strike price. Days to expiration is 20, so it's within the $30 to $45 range, 30 to 45 day expiration range. So one thing I have to be careful of is time decay, right? Time decay is going to accelerate, and you could see that in theta. This has been creeping up over the past couple days. I think when I first bought the option on Tuesday, it was around negative 0.13, something like that. So something you have to be careful of. Volatility is relatively low, which is interesting. I was checking, I forget which tool it was. I need to find that so I can share it with you guys. But there was another tool that I was looking at, implied volatility versus historical volatility, and implied volatility was starting to really start to outpace historical volatility, which is a possible sign of a big move coming. So again, I expect this to increase too, with a big move, with a big breakout. That's kind of what I would expect to happen. But as you can see right now, at the closing price on Friday, the theoretical price of the option is $376. I bought in at $472 is my average, so I'm down about 25%. Not crazy, not a crazy amount with an option. I'm okay with that. I'm kind of expecting that. Here's the implied volatility right here. So what I like to do, so here's the delta, right? 37 cents roughly with every dollar change in the underlying, and gamma is roughly 2.4 units of delta change for every dollar change in the underlying. So let's just, for the fun of it, see what happens if this thing hits my call price, hits my strike price, which is 148. So at 148, I'm assuming it's going to be this week, right? Because theta is going to go up, as you can see. That's time decay. Gamma doesn't change too much. Delta is going to go up. If this thing goes up 148, it's about like 4 to 5%, I think, in the underlying price right now, to the upside. Delta is going to go up to 53 cents for every dollar change in the underlying. and the theoretical price will be 667, will be about $2 per options, per 100 options contracts. So I'll make about $2 profit, which is not a bad profit. That'd be about $1,400 in profit. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Don't know if it's going to get there. It might not, in which case I'll have to stop out for a loss. It happens, you know. But we'll see. I decided to hold this one a little extra because, again, I liked the setup. I think the setup just needs a little bit more time to play out. Some things I wish I had changed is, you know, I could have maybe grabbed an option a little further out, right? That probably would have been a smart idea. Something closer to in the money would have probably been a better idea. But we'll see how this one plays out. Yeah, some interesting things. Just for fun of it, let's see what happens. You know, 55, this thing will go up to $11, right? So if there's a huge move, you know, this is kind of my upside. Given, and that's not just, I didn't pull that out of thin air. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking at on the options, the open interest on the on what's available right now on the options charts. So yeah, that's what I got for NVIDIA. So let's move on real quick to my other trade this week, which was also, I don't want to call it a dud, but it didn't pay out this week. Again, my order, I had an automatic order to get in at 2:30. We talked about this one a couple videos and a couple of my other videos. Plug, it's kind of an election type play because it's EV power type play, and it's kind of, you know, been beaten up, but with the election cycle happening, I think there's some volatility coming into this one. And so the thing to keep in mind here is the level, right? The level was about 230. I had an order at 230 to trigger, and it did trigger. I'm in at 230. As you can see, when it triggered, the next day it got up to a high of 242. That's funny because when I looked on Webull on my phone, the actual high was 246. So there's some discrepancy between charts. Happens sometimes. Anyways, my exit price was actually up here. If you look left, right, 261 is the high looking left. So that's kind of where I'm looking. 260 for an exit price. Let's see if I can draw that real quick. 260. Right there, close enough. That's my exit price. So kind of like right in this area is where I'm hoping. You can see what happened. It pulled back. You know, again, my stop loss was down here, $2. I only took 750 shares at 230. So, you know, 75 bucks every 10 cents. You know, so I'm risking about 225 on this to make about 225, 1-to-1. Not crazy. But yeah, as you can see, it bounced right off the 50. It came down, bounced off the 50 moving average, tried to make its way back up to 230. Sellers brought it down, but again, they couldn't bring it all the way down. And there was a lot of volume that day. RSI's holding in there, MACD's holding in there. So, you know, I'm holding this until it breaks 2, and then that's going to be my exit point. Again, it's got earnings coming up on the 7th, so something to keep in mind here. You know, we might get either something good on the 7th or a potential run into the 7th. That's after election, so the election could affect it too. So again, just expecting some volatility in this play. It hit my buy-in price, hasn't hit my entry price, so I'm in it, and it hasn't hit my stop loss yet. I still kind of like how the chart is looking, so we'll see what happens come next week. You know. So yeah, that's all I had to really share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about my watch list, some of my analysis. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment down below. Thanks, guys.